Hi guys, I'm a Forester here. Well, I just returned from China a couple of weeks ago, and I'm making this video to alert other travelers to one particular scam that's fairly common, the Chinese watch scam. I fell prey to it at the Wusan night market in Hangzhou, China, but I'm pretty sure that it occurs all over. A night market is just the perfect place for this type of scam, as the lighting there is poor. And I'm pretty sure that it doesn't just happen with watches. You can find everything at these night markets, from fidget spinners to high-end clothing and everything in between. So how does the watch scam work, and what can you do to prevent being scammed? Well, I visited at least 5 to 6 watch booths, and they all approached me in the same way. The first thing they'll say is, you want high, medium, or a low quality watch? Of course, there's a price differential for each supposedly different quality watch. In the case of this faux Lex, as I call it, they all say Swiss made down here at the bottom. So unless you plan to disassemble the watch, you have no idea what quality watch you're getting. It's just a way that they use to try to get a higher sales price. They'll start with a high price. So if you're interested in the watch, you should never come back with a counter offer that's above half of their starting price. For this particular watch right here, which I bought on this last trip, I started at 1/3 of their asking price. But before you get serious about the watch, just walk away and see what happens. I'm your friend, they'll call out after you. Now, they may not know much English, but they do know that phrase, I'm your friend. They also know, what's your best price? But they'll start coming down on their price. This really isn't part of a scam. It's just a game with them to negotiate, and they're very good negotiators. But very quickly, you can narrow the gap in price. Now, make sure that you visit the other watch booths and that they know you're negotiating with other vendors. The price will continue to come on down. But in the end, go back to the person that you have the most confidence in. In my case, I went back to a vendor that I had already bought a watch from 2 years ago. I was a repeat customer, and I still got taken. I selected the watch that I was interested in. It was one that looked like this one right here, and we got very close in price. Now, in my own mind, I had set a maximum amount that I was willing to spend, and I ended up handing him this watch back and saying that I didn't need it and I wouldn't go above my final price. So I walked away, and I was going to leave China the next morning to fly back home. After I got 15 to 20 feet away, he called out, "Come back, I'll take your offer." Now, he handed me this watch right here after I paid him, and I never thought to inspect it again because I felt assured that it was the exact same watch that I had been holding in my hand just 1 to 2 minutes before. He complained that he wasn't making any money on the sale because of the low price as he adjusted the bracelet to fit my wrist. I remember saying that I was sure he was making money or he wouldn't have sold me the watch. Now, I didn't realize that I had been taken until I got back to my motel room. It was too dark to set the watch while walking, but I wanted you to take a close look at the face of this watch, and you can tell at least 2 obvious things that are wrong with the watch that I would have noticed immediately. I'll give you a second to inspect it. Now, one thing will jump out at you, and that's this 12 marker. It's crooked, and actually it's just hanging on by a thread. When I got back to the motel room and set the time, the hands would hit it as they went around, and so that would be an obvious thing that I would have noticed. The other thing is, what time is it? Just tell me the time. It's not so hard right now, and this one will tell you the time, about 6 minutes till 2 o'clock. This one, maybe not quite so easily, and depending what time of the hour it is, it gets pretty tricky at telling what time it is because the hour and minute hands aren't synced up. You can tell when the minute hand gets up to the 12, the hour hand's going to be well past the 1. Both of those things would have been obvious to me when I was inspecting the watch before I bought it. But basically, this watch is nothing more than a paperweight as it is now. So I fell prey to a basic bait and switch scam. In the few seconds that it took me to walk away, he had replaced the watch that I was looking at with one that was worthless. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I still got scammed. I won't be back at the Wusan night market again. Y'all take care.